Welcome to the second video in my complete guide to water bath canning series, and today we are making super crispy dill pickles. Part 1 is where I went over all of the equipment that you need, alternatives in case you're missing a piece of equipment, food safety guidelines, frequently asked questions. So if you need a general understanding, go ahead and watch that one and then come back to this one. In a saucepan, add 4 cups of water, 4 cups of white or cider vinegar, up to 3/4 cup of sugar depending on how sweet you like your pickles, and a half cup of pure salt, no iodine or anti-caking ingredients in there. Then tie 3 tablespoons of pickling spice into a little cheesecloth bag and drop that in there. This is optional, it just adds more complex flavors to your pickles. While that's simmering, cut your cucumbers. Crispy pickle tip 1 is to use the freshest possible cucumbers and use a pickling variety. Number 2 is to cut the blossom end off of the pickles because it produces enzymes that break down the pectin in cucumbers, causing them to get mushy. Number 3 is to soak the cucumbers in ice water for at least 30 minutes. I can't find any scientific explanations about why this works, other than that it keeps the cucumbers hydrated, but a lot of experienced picklers really swear by it. For each jar, we'll add 1 smashed clove of garlic, a half teaspoon of mustard seed, and a bay leaf, which brings me to tip number 4. The tannins in bay, grape, or horseradish leaves inhibit any of that blossom end enzyme that has moved its way through the cucumber, especially if your cucumber sat in the fridge for a day or two. Top each jar off with a head of dill. And number 5 is to use calcium chloride, which is also known as pickle crisp. This binds with the pectin in the cucumbers to keep the cell walls nice and firm. You can either boil the cucumbers in your brine for 5 minutes before putting them into the jars, which is called hot packing, or tip number 6 is to raw pack, so you're cooking the cucumbers for less time so the cell walls don't break down as much. Pour the hot brine into each jar, leaving a 1/2 inch of headspace, then wipe down the rims and put your clean lids on. Screw the ring on just until you meet resistance, don't tighten it too hard. Place the jars into hot but not boiling water, put the lid on, and once it starts boiling, set your timer for 10 minutes, adding 1 minute for each 1,000 feet above sea level you are. Let the jars cool on your countertop for 12 to 24 hours. The tops of your jar should be completely flat at that point. Remove the ring and test the seal and store without the ring on in a dark, cool place. These taste best after about 3 weeks. In part 3, I'll be going over how to make salsa and how to make substitutions or adjustments to recipes safely. So subscribe if that sounds interesting to you, and if this has been helpful, then please hit the like button so more people can see it. Thanks.